What's up there, fellas? Man, did you guys catch that the men's soccer team win? Fuck. Absolute uh units. They fucking lost. They were a man down. Got a red card. Got a man straight up ejected. Got ejected from the game for a crooked call. And with a man down, 10 on 11. Not only did they hang on to their lead, they had a 1 goal lead. They actually scored a goal. They scored more than 1 goal. They had one disallowed. But they really, you know, showed what they were made of today. Their star player, their superstar who was really making most of the plays. He was the standout, and then he got ejected, which honestly I was quite demoralized. I just assumed we were going to get licked after that. But those boys, uh, they proved that they're not there for a fluke, and they're not there because they have a ringer. They're all great athletes themselves. A lot of times that is the case. Uh, Stars don't become stars until they have the opportunity to show what they're made of. And it was just all around fun to watch. It was a really great game, and um this is pretty deep into the tournament for us. We haven't we have we haven't gone past like every in the last 50 years we've gotten beaten in the next game by the round of 16. So there's a good chance. I mean, we're playing Belgium next, but England won today, Belgium won today, both over an African nation. Uh, and also, and we won. Senegal, they were beating, they were kicking Belgium's ass, and Belgium came back 2-0 and won 3-2. And England was down 1 point the whole game against the Congo, and they clinched it and scored or won 2-1. But Nick, he sent out his pre stream message. As he said 15 minutes, so he didn't say, be on at midnight. He said I'll be on in 15 minutes. So wait a second, did that shit freeze? It froze. So I was rewatching my stuff from last night. Man, I really didn't realize I really need to get on point when it comes to the microphone. Like it's it's very annoying to me that it's like my mic is muted a lot of times. So I grabbed this just so I didn't have to worry about that tonight. Man, I'm really pleased that the USA team won, man. I mean, man, I didn't realize how tall those Bosnian dudes are, those Serbians and stuff. My goodness, bro, those guys are massive. They're big, man. One guy on that team looked like a bodybuilder. He was like big and wide and wouldn't want to get into a fist fight with that guy. Not at all. Oh yeah, man, it was a really badass moment after the game was over. And also when England was playing, they play that John Denver song, Country Road. And everybody just, even in the England game, uh, the people were singing it. The whole stadium was singing it. And it was so pleasing to see that. really was. Let's see here. I just kind of I looked up and seen it was on TikTok. There was a few oh hey, what's up, Golden Rule? Yeah, it was a great game, dude. And it was great to see those guys overcome some adversity. And that's really the true test of a team. Can they handle bad calls? Can they handle when things don't go their way? And those guys really showed that they were mature and even keeled. It was awesome. There we go. This is a Argentinian coach for us. He was like singing it. It was really cool. Hey, such a good song. Yeah, and it was weird. The Bosnian coach, this guy was out in a double-breasted coat or double-breasted suit with a pair of white tennis shoes on, bro. It was absurd. And there was I seen a camera angle, they cut to this guy. And he's like jumping up and down and like with like a suit on. It was so comical. It was I mean, I laughed out loud. It was hilarious. And apparently they went down to Argentina and interviewed the coach's parents, and they got all like choked up about the fact that he was coaching America. Like coaches coach all over the world, but it actually meant something to those people that he was coaching America. I just thought that was pretty legit. Yeah, he did. I forget who was it that went down with him. He went down with other people, I think. San Francisco. You know what? I noticed this about these games, like when England won today. After the whole stadium was England fans, of course. They're so into that, football. And the England players, they stood, with their arms around each other's shoulders in a line, and they all sang with the whole stadium, "Champagne Supernova" by Oasis. It was very cool. It was similar to when USA, uh, when they stayed on the field after the game was over and sort of kind of, played it up. It was very cool. And also, um, all three host nations uh, progressed to the round of 16. Like Mexico, America, and Canada. And also, England, Canada, and America all made it to that round too. South Africa was they got beat by Canada. But Australia also made it to the round of I don't think they've played yet, but every English-speaking country except for New Zealand made it to the knockout rounds. And I just thought that was really cool. Kind of a shame that New Zealand didn't make it. We would have had all of the countries, all of us English-speaking peoples represented, which would have been, I thought that would have been pretty badass. You can't have everything. New Zealand's a very small country too. Yeah, I agree, Goldie. I think Nick just sent out another live notification. I agree. I think it is going to be a banger because Mexico had a really good game uh, against Ecuador. They freaking crushed Ecuador. Super. They were really energetic, really, really good soccer. And England too. England has one of the best players in the world right now, Harry Kane. That guy is an absolute unit. And he's not as flashy as like Mbappe or some of these other cats, but the guy scores goals. Like he scores as many goals as Mbappe. They may not be as, cut and run, swashbuckling, striking like that, but he gets it done, and that's what makes a striker. It's what makes a champion. The guy has a hell of a lot of assists and a hell of a lot of goals. Yeah, and he's representing his country. Their all-star, their superstar on England, the guy that pretty much makes it all happen, and the captain is, of English. The guy's a true born and bred Englishman, which is kind of weird about our star player, the one that got ejected. The guy's got an English accent. He's black, but he grew up in England, and that guy that we had a free kick today. That's one of the goals that we got. It was by Tillman. Yeah, that guy's English too, but he made he might have made the most graceful and best goal of the World Cup so far. He did a penalty kick and it was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. It was like a really nice curveball in baseball. It just went right over them guys' heads. And those Bosnian dudes, they're one of the tallest countries in the World Cup. Them and Norway they were the tallest of the entire 32. What's going on with my internet? Yeah, it's been a great World Cup, and just the fact that we haven't been knocked out. Them guys have showed up. They've showed up. They've been playing some really good football, and you love to see that. They got heart, grit. They stick to it. They don't get flustered. They're not flashy and flamboyant, and I dig it. I dig it. Very competitive, but also good sportsmen. And I love to see that. I don't like seeing the flashiness of football and all that stuff, man. I mean, of American football. How the colored guys, they do all their goofy. I'm not into it. What's up, Brian? And what is up with my internet here? Some bullshit. Man, I was hoping I could find one that was the one that when I heard it at England. I think they've also broken this World Cup has broken the record for the loudest stadium in the world. Or yeah, penalty kick, my bad. Yeah, I'm not super well versed in this stuff, so I mean, that's just I'm gonna slip up. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, but I don't know anything about football. Not really anyway. Hmm. Yeah, it's a shame I can't find when England was singing that song. It was very cool. And I was thinking, geez, the English know John Denver? Who would have thunk it? Hmm. Anyhow. Okay. Nick's coming on. The hell? Oh. Man,
Good evening, everybody. You're watching America First. My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes. We have a great show for you tonight. Very excited to be back here with you tonight on Wednesday. We have a lot to talk about, lots to get into. Big show. Our featured story, we're talking all about our fearless leader, President Trump, who, according to brand new financial disclosures, raked in $1 billion in income last year off of cryptocurrency alone.
Crazy.
New financial disclosures, which came out yesterday, show that he made a total of $2 billion, and $1 billion was from fairly conventional sources like real estate and regular stock purchases and things like that. But $1.1 billion alone of that income last year derived from the sale of cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency-related businesses. And the way that breaks down is unbelievable. $600 million of his income last year was from Trump coin alone. So you might remember when Trump was entering office in 2025, he launched a meme coin on Twitter. This is before he became president, but after he was elected president, he made $600 million off of that scam.
So crooked.
The other percentage, $500 million, came from a company called World Liberty Financial, which is a stablecoin company run by Steve Witkoff's children. So Steve Witkoff is the top envoy. He is negotiating all the deals through Pakistan with Iran, the deal with Russia, all these trade agreements. That's all Witkoff. His kids run this stablecoin company that Trump has profited hundreds of millions of dollars from in terms of revenue from transaction fees and at least $50 million from the sale of equity in the company. They sold 49% of the business to a sheikh from the United Arab Emirates. It's just levels of corruption that should not even be possible. And it's shocking that Trump supporters don't even seem to care. I think they don't like it. They don't support it, obviously. They just don't care. So we'll talk all about that tonight. In addition to that, President Trump is responsible for 3,000 individual stock purchases in his second term. The previous high was 50 set by him in his first term. Before that, it was 0. 0 for Obama, 0 for Bush, 0 for Clinton, 0 for Bush Sr., 3,400 for Trump in just the past year and a half. So that's our president. Awesome job. But we'll get into all that. We're also going to talk tonight about the brand new film Citizen Vigilante with Armie Hammer. Have you guys watched it yet?
Why does he keep talking about this?
It kind of sucks. I can't make up my mind.
Holy
we were going to
shit.
talk about it last night, and I really can't make up my mind if I hate it or if I love it. It's objectively a terrible movie. It looks like it was shot on an iPhone. The dialogue is terrible. The acting is worse. At the end of the day, though, it is a movie about a handsome white guy that goes around killing rapist migrants. So it's not a good movie. But I don't really object to what is happening on the screen. And we'll talk about it a little bit. It's caused quite a deal of controversy in Europe, where it has been banned in Germany out of fear that it will incite violence against immigrants, which makes sense, I guess. Elon Musk published the entire movie for 48 hours on Twitter, so you can watch the whole thing on X, and it just got approved for international distribution. So you might see it in theaters as well. And I got to be honest, I feel like the superior film is Taken with Liam Neeson. Remember that one? And I'll tell you why, but I feel like there are right-wing movies out there, or at least the movie has a right-wing message, but it can be done better. This is one of those movies where they just might as well tell you their political views. The movie is like, hey, we need to do something about these immigrants. Like, that's the movie is just saying that openly. There's nothing left to the imagination. It's not symbolic. It's not subtle. The main character literally gives a monologue about how the woke left and radical Muslims are ruining democracy. I'm not even making that up. That's like a direct quote. So we need to make movies that are a little bit more artistic, I think. It reminds me of when on Fox News, they used to promote these like anti-abortion movies, and the plot was like a liberal professor won't let the students believe in Jesus.
Oh, goodness.
And it's like, is this even a movie? This just feels like I'm watching Water's World. Like this is an episode of Hannity. We could have done that in 5 minutes on The Five. Remember they had a movie, God's Not Dead? And the movie was literally liberal professor won't let the students believe in Jesus. And then there were other movies about like abortion. And this is the same thing except with immigration. That's why it's better, because honestly, the abortion thing's a little heavy-handed. For men, it's kind of boring. A
little heavy-handed.
This is a little better, but it's still a little too on the nose. Anyway, we'll get into all that. It's going to be a good show. Before we get into the news, I want to remind you to smash the follow button on Rumble, smash the like button, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the show. Check out our merch store at Fuentes.store. We're still working on our summer collection. I'm shooting for Monday. I'm thinking Monday we're going to get these products out there to you. Summer collection loading up. You're going to get it on Monday. We got a lot of interesting stuff. I got to say, though, Epstein Quarter Zip was the best seller of all time. I'm going to let you finish, but the Epstein Quarter Zip was the greatest merch item of all time. Honestly, I was so real for that. I caught so much flack for the Epstein Quarter Zip, and it's my favorite thing I've ever done. And honestly, it sold a lot. We sold thousands of quarter zips. People, what's not to like? It looks awesome. It's hilarious. Anyway, you have people that will literally dress up like Nazis, and they say, what? It's just a joke. And then you go, well, we're going to sell Jeffrey Epstein's favorite shirt. And they go, what the fuck did you just do? It's a joke. It's another joke. It's just jokes. Don't you love that? I remember there was like some knucklehead in Tennessee on Halloween. He went to some bar dressed up like a Nazi, and he got kicked out and lost his job. And everybody was defending it. It's like, you know, the Nazis did kill people. Like, I'm not going to go full Rabbi Shmuley and say they killed 6 million Jews with like human chess games and masturbation machines and roller coasters. But obviously the Nazis did kill people. Like, they did commit atrocities. So if we're going to moral fag about a quarter zip, we got to go all the way. We can't be doing one thing and not the other. If we're going to moral fag, let's at least keep it consistent. So anyway, I don't know if we have anything approaching the genius of the Epstein quarter zip, but check it out, Fuentes.store. Also, if you want to support the show, subscribe at AmericaFirst.plus. $15 a month, you get access to the archive and our own live streaming site coming soon. $100 a month to get access to the group chat. I might start doing exclusive streams once we get our own streaming app on the platform. Maybe I'll just start doing exclusive gaming streams on the platform, because people always say I should do gaming streams, but then nobody watches them and they don't super chat. So it's like, what's the point? So maybe I'll do that. But the $100 a month club, you get access to the group chat with me, and I'm in there. I was in a voice chat this weekend. I'm dropping voice content all the time. In there, chatting it up, hanging out with the niggas. That's at AmericaFirst.plus. Okay, with that, we're going to dive into the show. Got to be honest, it's kind of like a slow week. There's not really a ton that is happening. I saw today, however, that Tucker Carlson is back at it again, trying to Fed jacket me. He released a video a few hours ago talking about January 6th. And once again, he's saying it's so weird that Nick Fuentes never got arrested. This old man wants to smoke, and I'm going to give it to him. Okay, because clearly, let's just be honest. I am in a proxy war with J.D. Vance. And Tucker Carlson is the proxy for Vance. That is what is going on here.
Get that old fucker.
It could not be more obvious that there is a huge push for J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is the candidate of Palantir and Peter Thiel and the little tech PayPal mafia. Everybody knows that. And it is so obvious that whatever that thing is, Tucker Carlson is a part of it. We all know that. And it's obvious whenever he is asked about any of this, whenever he is asked about J.D. Vance, whenever he is asked about Palantir, he turns into a completely different person. Because if you watch his show every other day of the week, and I said this last week too, but if you watch Tucker's show any day of the week, he is so credulous about every conspiracy theory. He had a guest on, and they talked about how psychics use their telekinetic abilities to see inside military bases where the military has actual giants walking around with the rest of the soldiers. Like that he believes in. He brings on an exorcist to talk about how he exorcised Satan, Beelzebub, and Lucifer from an individual, which I think is real, by the way. He brings on guests that talk about flat earth, that talk about aliens, that talk about ancient aliens and how there are alien spacecraft underneath the ocean that will then emerge from the sea to spy on nuclear bases. Like, this is what is the regular fare on Tucker's show. And then somebody asks him about Palantir, and he says, oh, I don't know anything about that. I have to plead ignorance. And you go, really? So you believe in MK Ultra, and you believe in ritualistic satanic abuse, and you believe in deep underground military bases, and you believe in aliens, and you believe in Nephilim, and oh, but Palantir, which is a top 10 tech company by market cap, Palantir, which was brought into this administration with Doge to 4 departments and agencies to digest all of Americans' data, education, healthcare, tax, social security data is all being fed into the Gotham platform from Palantir. You don't know anything about that? I find that hard to believe. And he's asked about J.D. Vance, who's equally as suspicious. As you know, Vance is a creation of Peter Thiel. Vance is funded by Palantir and Peter Thiel. And Tucker says, that's my best friend. He is the most morally upstanding man I know. All he cares about is God, his wife, his family, and his country. The glaze is mythical. Tucker Carlson is doing literal tricks on it, somersaults. He is doing reverse cowgirl, giggling and slipping it back in with J.D. Vance, doing absolute tricks mythically. And I'm not even exaggerating. You watch these interviews, and those are literally the words he's using. He's saying, Vance is the most morally upright person I know. All he cares about is God, his family, and his wife. He is the finest man I know. He is a close friend, and I just love him, and I would never say anything to hurt his prospects. And you go, really? So why didn't he stop the war in Iran? And Tucker goes, well, he had to. He had to. That's his job. He's the vice president. Tucker goes, I'm not supporting Republicans. You go, what about Vance? I support him in anything he does. So look. Let's put all of our cards on the table. Palantir is a creation of the CIA. Palantir was funded by In-Q-Tel, which is a CIA venture capital arm. CIA was Palantir's only customer for 8 years. Peter Thiel founded Palantir. That is where he gets all his money. Peter Thiel used his money from Palantir to fund J.D. Vance. Peter Thiel got J.D. Vance all of his jobs in Silicon Valley, funded his Senate campaign. He was responsible for Vance becoming the vice presidential pick. And Tucker is a huge Vance booster. Tucker boosted Vance when he was running for Senate. Tucker boosted Vance when he was in contention for the vice presidential nomination. In 2016, J.D. Vance voted for Evan McMullin, a CIA agent. Tucker's other best friend is Joe Kent, a CIA agent. Joe Kent was also funded by Peter Thiel. Tucker Carlson's nephew, Charles, works for Palantir. Tucker Carlson's son, Buckley, works for J.D. Vance. Tucker Carlson's father, Dick, worked for the CIA. So, very obviously, something is going on.
So Tucker's father's name
This is a little
was Dick Tucker? Or no, Dick Carlson. I was like, Dick Tucker. What the fuck?
game They think we're stupid. They think we don't know. David Sachs is going to be J.D. Vance's chief of staff. They want Vance to be president in 2028. And if or when that happens, Vance is going to let Palantir get all of the defense contracts having to do with AI, having to do with big data, having to do with surveillance. And that's going to make Palantir one of the most valuable companies in the world. It will enrich Peter Thiel. It will enrich Alex Karp. It will enrich Joe Lonsdale, who's a co-founder of Palantir also, part of PayPal Mafia with that whole gang. And Tucker is a part of that. How can you not see that? And it's not innocent. Every time he's asked, what is Palantir? He goes, I don't know. Yeah, you do. Peter Thiel is his best friend. Of course, you know all about Thiel. You know all about Palantir. You know all about Vance. And you lie. You lie through your teeth because you are a part of some clique. I don't know what it is precisely, but he's always in the Middle East, in Qatar and Saudi Arabia. He has some weird relationship with Russia and Serbia. And all of his friends are in the CIA. And then he wants to do yet another show saying that I'm suspicious because I didn't get charged. Yeah, you're right, fag. I didn't get charged. They only froze my bank account for half a year. They only put me on a do not board, no fly list for an entire year. They only subpoenaed me, all my documents, text messages, phone calls, and deposed me in the J6 subcommittee. They only banned me from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. They only banned me from PayPal and Stripe, banned me from Bank of America, Chase Bank, US Bank, Fifth Third Bank, Inland Bank. They only banned me from Delta and American Airlines. Other than that, you're right, nothing happened to me. Yeah, I'm totally suspicious. They never charged me. They only did all those things. Yeah, because I don't know. I guess the CIA recruited me when I was 17 in high school to go against Ben Shapiro. And you are totally clean. Your dad told you you didn't get into the CIA, which you applied to 35 years ago. But yeah, I'm the one that's suspicious. Okay, let's go with that. You want to keep barking up that tree? You want to keep the feud going? Yeah, you'll win that argument. Let's see, the 27-year-old live streamer who's banned from everything, or the 60-year-old douchebag whose entire social circle, family is in the CIA, who worked for Rupert Murdoch his entire life, is probably worth $50 million, is friends with multiple foreign governments and travels there all the time. Yeah, that's a winning argument. That's a winning hand. Keep barking up that tree. Surely people will be convinced. You know what? And I just have to expose these people all over again. We're working on a project to expose all of these people because it's so transparent. The problem is people just don't know. People just buy that aw shucks shtick, which I hate. That's all that is. Did you see? He did an interview this week where he said that after he got fired from Fox News, him and his wife were in bed talking about it, and the wife said, well, we'll just move to Vermont where it's cheaper. Are you kidding? You made $20 million a year at Fox News. You have multiple trust funds. What the fuck are you talking about? I swear, did you see this interview? He goes on the interview. He goes, yeah, when I lost my job at Fox, I turned to my wife and I said, what are we going to do? And she said, we'll downsize. We'll move to Vermont where it's cheaper. Like he got laid off from the post office. Like he got laid off from the men's clothing department at Macy's. You made $20 million a year. You have multiple trust funds. What happened to the Swanson family fortune? We're going to we're going to downsize? He says this stuff all the time. When he was talking about the demon attack, he goes, it happened on the first floor. My house only has one floor. Yeah, one of your multi-million-dollar houses only has one story. One out of your multiple houses in your 8-figure real estate portfolio only has one floor. So relatable, bro. What are we going to do? We only have $50 million in our checking account. We only have $100 million in our family trust. Should we sell one of our $5 million houses? How are we going to make ends meet? I mean, it's so, They brought up where the interview is taking place in his studio in Maine. He goes, "This is my family barn." Your family barn? It's a movie set, idiot. Oh my, I don't know how anybody falls for that. It just goes to show how stupid your average conservative is that they buy that for even a second. It just goes to show how gullible and how foolish your average conservative it is that they buy into that shtick. It's incredible. He's literally Mr. CIA. He's literally Mr. Bureau. And he goes around like, "I just like to hunt and fish. I just like my dogs and having sex with my wife." Yeah, and the agency. It's crazy. Anyway, so I see that and I'm like, do people see that this is happening? This is just like a crime against humanity that this liar is able to get away with it. You are the single biggest liar. I wonder what happened there on January 6th. I don't know, bro. Why don't you ask your friends at the Bureau? He goes, "I wonder what that's all about." You don't have to wonder. Ask all your friends in the intelligence community. Isn't that your favorite thing to say? "And I happen to know that because I have friends in the CIA, DIA, FBI. Ask them yourself. Next time you're in Langley with your dad, ask them in person about it. I assure you, you're not going to find anything, pal. Anyway, do they let ethnics into the CIA? I didn't know they started letting Mexicans in the CIA. Anyway, we're going to move on. But I saw that and I'm just like, and I know we've talked about a lot of this stuff before, but clearly it's escalating. Because he did another show the other week. What was the provocation the other week? He said something, I forget what it was about. Oh, he's compared me to Tommy Robinson. He said Tommy Robinson is fake, like Nick Fuentes. Then he does a show today, January 6th, like Nick Fuentes. And so clearly there is a concerted effort now to attack and destroy my reputation and my credibility. Why? Because J.D. Vance has been given permission by Trump to launch his shadow campaign in 2027 for the presidency. And they want to make sure that I'm not around telling everybody that he's a fake piece of shit. That's literally what is happening. And it's clearly escalating as we get into 2027. We're in the latter half of 26, and Tucker is the attack dog. Tucker is the bulldog for J.D. Vance and Palantir Incorporated over there. So, anyway, it's just unbelievable. But we're going to move on. We're going to get into our featured story for tonight, which is all about the Trump crypto scam. This has just got to be, once again, it's just indefensible. Featured story tonight is about the Trump administration. Today, President Trump released some of his financial disclosures from 2025. Actually, they came out yesterday. And inside of his financial disclosures, we now have new details about his income from cryptocurrency. We all knew about the Trump coin scam, and we all knew that he made a lot of money off of his shitcoin right around the time of the presidential transition after the 2024 election. But now we know just how much money he made exactly. And what the financial disclosures show is that Trump personally made $2 billion in profits last year, $2 billion in income. So before 2025, I think his net worth was something like $3 to $6 billion. He made $2 billion in 2025 alone. So at the minimum, he increased his net worth by 30% in 1 year. At the most, he doubled his net worth in just a year, the year that he came back to the presidency. Out of that $2 billion, about $1 billion of that is fairly conventional sources of income. Real estate, stocks, normal investments, but $1.1 billion alone. So the majority of his income came from crypto-related ventures. And you could break that down into two specific sources of income. He made more than $600 million on the Trump coin, and he made $530 million off of a crypto company called World Liberty Financial. And this is a story from the New York Times. It says, quote, a large chunk of the $2 billion haul President Trump took in last year came as hundreds of thousands of his fans and other investors bet on a speculative cryptocurrency called Trump coin. But while Mr. Trump amassed $636 million from the cryptocurrency, many of his followers who heeded this call to purchase the coin came out as losers. The president's 927-page financial disclosure showed how Mr. Trump and his family reaped huge financial rewards in 2025 through his money-losing Trump media venture and a separate cryptocurrency firm called World Liberty Financial, even as routine investors suffered vast losses. He also amassed hundreds of millions of dollars through deals that involve foreign governments or corporations with agenda items pending before his own administration. As of the middle of last year, according to Chainalysis, a crypto analytics firm, 58 investors in the Trump coin had made profits in excess of $10 million, totaling an estimated $1.1 billion alone, most of them early traders who got out before the coin crashed in value. At the same time, some 764,000 crypto wallets, most with small holdings, lost money on Trump coin. So 58 people made $1 billion in total. Almost 800,000 people lost money. Every time Trump coin was traded, the president and his partners collected transaction fees, which, along with other revenues from the coin, totaled hundreds of millions of dollars. Mr. Trump's annual report shows that he earned an additional $800 million from World Liberty, including a large share when the government of the UAE secretly purchased a stake in the company just as Mr. Trump was returning to the White House. Nice. So first, you have the Trump coin scam, which is just, I don't know how he got away with that. How is that even possible? The president rug pulled, the sitting president of the United States rug pulled his fans and supporters. Have you ever heard of such a thing? He created a digital asset, completely unregulated, this Trump meme coin, and told everybody to buy it. He said it's going to be the basis of the financial system, and this is an investment, all this kind of stuff. Everybody bought it. And then people that he told about it in advance sold all their coins to his fans who were buying in, and they rug pulled it. Trump and his cronies used his voters and supporters as exit liquidity after he won the presidential election to the tune of $600 million. The president of the United States scammed his supporters out of $600 million, not only off of the rug pull itself, but also making money off of every single transaction. The second aspect of it is this World Liberty Financial. This is a cryptocurrency firm, and their main product is a stable coin. So they created a coin that's pegged 1-to-1 to the dollar. It's not a speculative investment. It's meant to serve as a medium of exchange. World Liberty Financial was founded by Steve Witkoff's children. So Steve Witkoff is the president's special envoy. So when we talk to Russia about the war in Ukraine, that's Steve Witkoff. He is the one going to Russia to meet with Putin and Sergei Lavrov. He is the one going to Turkey and Riyadh, meeting with our Russian counterparts. When we negotiate with Iran, directly, indirectly, it's Steve Witkoff every time, going to Switzerland, Italy, Turkey, Oman, Iran, Pakistan. He's the one going and meeting with the Qataris, meeting with the Pakistanis, meeting with the Iranians, meeting with the Saudis, with the Emiratis. He's the one meeting with all the Israelis, the Syrians, Lebanese, meeting with all these people. Steve Witkoff's top negotiator, that guy's children, founded a stablecoin company, which Trump owns a significant chunk of. As a matter of fact, Trump makes 75% of the royalties. 75% of the royalties from World Liberty go to Trump personally. And not only that, the United Arab Emirates purchased $2 billion worth of coins from World Liberty, and then they purchased a 49% stake in the company. And that equity for Trump is worth something like $57 million. Not only that, World Liberty is in talks with Pakistan to talk about cross-border payments. So the president has raked in $1 billion, well over $1 billion, one, from scamming his voters, directly scamming them, selling them something that is worthless, and also profiting off of the transaction fees from selling them something that is worthless. And then the other $700, $800 million comes from World Liberty, a firm owned by the children of his top negotiator that does business with Pakistan and the UAE, which he makes royalties off of, and he makes profits from the sale of equity to foreign countries. Have you ever heard of such a thing? And this is, by the way, orders of magnitude more than any other former president. How much money do you think Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama make in speaking fees? How much do they make when they get a seat on a board of a Fortune 500 company? How much did Hunter Biden make when he had his consulting business? He was maybe making millions of dollars. We're talking seven figures. Now, you might think millions of dollars, that sounds like a lot of money. You might think, oh, $1 million a month, that's a lot of money. $10 million in a year, $10 million, that's a lot of money. Trump made $1 billion. He made 1,000 millions in 1 year, scamming his, more than that, by the way, about $1.5 billion, scamming his voters and selling stuff to the UAE, Pakistan, foreign countries, which of course then he was regulating. Not only is he scamming his voters and selling out to foreign countries, but obviously there's a major conflict of interest, which is that his administration will regulate the crypto industry. So he's making money off of an underregulated industry that his administration is in charge of. And also the customers for these companies are countries that he's doing deals with as the sitting president. So months before he gives the UAE access to American chips for their data centers in a huge deal, the UAE buys $2 billion worth of coins from a company he gets 75% of the royalties from, and they buy 49% equity in that very same company. And this is an analogy for how the whole Trump movement works, is it not? Which is to say that the entire thing is a scam. It's a scam, and not only is it that, but it's a scam that his own supporters can't get enough of. I would say that is actually the characteristic attribute of Trumpism. Because you will find that every other politician, every other leader, there's sort of a line that they can't cross. There's some things they can't get away with. Like, for example, when Obama went to Flint, Michigan and drank the water, people were outraged. Or when Joe Biden was unable to stop the conflict in Gaza, lost a lot of support. There's some things that politicians, even popular ones, even charismatic ones, can't get away with. And maybe the defining characteristic of Trumpism is this unshakable cult mentality that no matter what he does, no matter how much he contradicts himself, no matter how much he breaks his promises, betrays the fundamental principles of this entire political movement, even if he is literally rug pulling you in a shitcoin scam, it seems to have no impact on the level of support coming from his base of voters. No matter how much he does to betray them, they will continue to ask for more. They'll continue to vote for more of that. They'll say that he did a good job. He scams his voters out of $600 million. They say, well, that's because he's smart. He made billions of dollars. That's because he's a good businessman. He didn't release the Epstein files. Well, that's because the Democrats made it up. He brought us to war in Iran. Well, that's because the real forever war was Iran's war against Israel and the United States. This is how it goes all the time. And if you're thinking to yourself, gee, how could those people be such idiots? How could you support Trump after he told you to buy a meme coin and then rug pulled it and made money from the transaction fees? How could you continue to support him in spite of that? Well, consider the fact that you and probably every conservative person you know are going to go and vote Republican in the midterms. You and every conservative or Trump supporter that you know is going to go out and vote in 2028. Think about that. So if you think that's egregious, if you think that's unexcusable and indefensible, and you may wonder, how do people tolerate that? How could people be such suckers? Consider that you're a sucker too. You're going to be a part of it as well. As sure as people continue to support Trump after he steals hundreds of millions of dollars, he's blatantly corrupt. Conflict of interest is just glaring and blatant. It's just in your face. You're still going to go out in 26. You're still going to go out in 28 because you're going to be saying, well, it's better than the Democrats. Well, we're better off with Trump. Well, it's a lesser of two evils. And you wonder why it is the way that it is. It's because we've trained the Republicans in general, and Trump in particular, to know that they can get away with anything. This is a conditioned response. They know that they can do anything in terms of their personal conduct, in terms of what they do politically in Congress. They can literally get away with anything. And so, why wouldn't they do this? And by the way, this is how they got Trump. It's very clear what is happening here, which is you have to consider the particular predicament that Trump was in a year ago. This sort of explains everything. In 2024, Trump is facing charges in 4 different cases, 2 federal cases, a case in New York State, and a case in Fulton County, Georgia. You've got federal charges relating to January 6th, federal charges relating to mishandling of classified documents. You got charges in New York State over these business documents, and you got charges in Fulton County over election interference. He's facing potentially over 100 years in prison. And not only that, but this is hundreds of millions of dollars in legal fees as well, to pay teams of lawyers, the best lawyers in the country, to give him the best defense in all these cases. And what he's looking at in 2024 is either you become the president and all the legal problems go away. You become the president and you're able to get rid of your legal problems. You're able to enrich yourself so you could pay off all of these legal fees. You could pay off all of these judgments against you. You'll be able to set yourself and your family up for life so they never have to worry about being persecuted or getting a job or anything like that. That's behind door number 1. And door number 2 is you go to jail and you spend the rest of your life in prison. You are an historical disgrace. And more likely than not, your organization goes bankrupt. You will be bankrupted by judgments against you in criminal court, civil court, and in legal fees. So those are Trump's 2 options. Either you spend the final 10, 15, 20 years of your life as the president in retirement, your family is set for life, you've created a dynasty, you have this come from behind victory, you're able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, no legal troubles, or you spend the rest of your life in jail. You're bankrupt, your family's bankrupt, you go down in history as the ultimate failure. And this explains everything. This is why Trump fundamentally betrayed all of his voters on the financial front, on the political front. I think it's very obvious that he realized he needed to do absolutely everything that was required to win. And what that meant was taking hundreds of millions of dollars from Miriam Adelson, from Tim Mellon, from Elon Musk, from Andreessen Horowitz, from Larry Ellison, from all these different billionaire oligarchs. And then this is why he needed to set up these scams. I'm sure that people like Howard Lutnick and Steve Witkoff came to him as his fixers, and they said, listen, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're being bankrupted by legal fees. sure, you don't have legal problems now when you're in office, but these legal problems are going to start up again for you and your family. You need to set yourself up for life. You need to make $1 billion. How are you going to do it? Here's how you're going to do it. There's this industry. It's unregulated. It's meme coins. We're going to set it up. We'll take care of the legal side. We'll take care of the tech. All you got to do is post this on True Social. You'll make $500 million at least. You never have to worry again in your life. Don't worry about it. We'll handle everything. And yeah, it's shady. And yeah, it should be illegal, but this is how it is. And this is how you're going to protect yourself. Trump doesn't know anything about crypto. He doesn't know anything about coins. He doesn't know anything about tech. I'm sure this was brought to him by his Jewish fixers, Steve Witkoff and Howard Lutnick, who are deeply involved in this. And by the way, crypto is all about arbitrage. It's all about these different media of exchange. It is severely underregulated at this point, I would assume. And so I'm sure the Jewish fixers came to him, put this on the table and said, do the smart thing. You're going to need this money. You've got problems. Money solves problems. All you got to do is write out this script, do what we tell you to do. We'll set it up, and you'll set yourself up and your children and your organization and your family for life. And this is about protecting him, not just as an ordinary politician who's going to retire and just kind of go and play golf. This is about protecting him as a unique president who was a billionaire and has these extraordinary political problems that other presidents don't have. Other presidents did not have their private residence raided. Other presidents did not get charged by the DOJ and in all these other jurisdictions. Other presidents did not have these problems. And so this is insulation for his unique problems. And it just goes to show, by the way, he is always looking out for number one. He's not going down with the ship because, and maybe this is the big picture, because you might look at that situation and you might not begrudge Trump for doing this. It makes sense. If you're in his position, it's an insurance policy. It insulates him from risk in the future. Okay, makes sense. Let's think about it another way, though. Another way to consider it is that if you are a revolutionary and you try to take over the country and you fail, you die. And what that implies then is you better succeed. If you are a revolutionary, if you are a dissident, if you are leading a coup d'etat, you either win or you die. So it's in your interest as the captain of the ship that you win. It's in your best interest. And as a leader of men, that's a very important thing because everybody else is giving their lives too. If the coup fails, they all die too. They all get lined up and beheaded or executed. Their families get executed probably. Their families get spied on or whatever. And I think about it similarly with Trump. There's really two ways to look at this dilemma. If you're Trump and you're raising a challenge against the system, if you win, then you have this obligation to actually change the character of the regime. If you're successful, you don't have to worry. If Trump wins the election and then he's able to actually deliver the promises, if he's actually able to deliver the change that he promised to the voters, then he's got nothing to worry about. You know how he's going to survive? If he wins. If he loses, that's why you have problems, just like in the first term. In the first term, Trump got elected, and Trump was sloppy and lazy and careless and incompetent and all these things. He winds up losing the election. He raises this challenge about the legitimacy of the vote and then causes all these problems for himself. He also caused problems for his people. His people went to jail. He got charged. Now that he's in office the second time, the first thing that he does is take care of his end. The first thing that he does is set up a golden parachute for himself. If it goes down the same way it did last time, I'll be good. That was literally the first thing he did before he did anything else. Before he even took office, he took care of number one. He said, okay, I won the election. I'm headed into my second term. Well, I'm safe for now, But in order to make sure that it doesn't go down the same way as the first term, I got to set myself up using my newfound power with an insurance policy. That way, no matter what happens, whether I succeed, whether I fail, I'm going to be okay. The Trump family's going to be okay. And thus began the second term. Now, is Trump acting like his life depends on it? No. Trump is not governing as the president like his life depends on it, as if failure would mean death for him. He isn't. He's not serious about these indictments. He's not serious about the SAVE Act. He's not serious about mass deportations. He's not serious about any of it. Because on some level, he doesn't care. And he doesn't care because he knows that no matter what, he's going to be okay. We won't. If Trump doesn't do mass deportations, we're screwed. If he doesn't do the SAVE Act, we're screwed. If we lose the House in 26 and we can't get anything done in 27 and 28, we're screwed. If a Democrat gets in office in 28, that's a big problem for us. That's a problem for us. That's our problem. We don't have $1 billion. Our family doesn't have $1 billion. We don't get to pardon ourselves preemptively and our entire family, but Trump does. That's the first thing he did, is line up the preemptive pardons, get the $1+ billion cushion, and now we can go on about the business of the presidency. Charlie Kirk is dead. You know, he's dead and gone, and his family will never recover. That guy was not protected. Trump will be okay. And that is really what this movement, that characterizes this movement, which is that it's always just been about him. From the very beginning. The whole thing was a scam. The whole thing was exactly like this. It was about everybody giving up their lives, everybody giving up their time, their energy, their money, putting their hopes and dreams on this movement for the sake of Trump's vanity, his legacy, his ego. And all over again in the second term, same thing. Well, it'll be different this time. He's learned his lesson. He's going to be our vengeance. He's going to do all these things. Same story. It was all just about him getting this get out of jail free card. It wasn't about actually fulfilling the promises of the first term. It was about securing his get out of jail free card. He started something that he didn't finish. He had to get back in office and make sure that him and his people were taken care of. And the Trump coin scam is just a microcosm of that, which is we're paying for his ticket out. So I don't know how anybody defends this administration. And by the way, these are the kinds of things that I really hope the Democrats investigate in 27. People say, why do you want the Democrats to win the midterms? It's because of stuff like this. How can you blame this on anyone other than Trump? It's just like yesterday. Birthright citizenship failed because of 2 Trump-appointed judges. Who can you blame for that? You know, I think about guys like Steven Crowder, who I like, but Steven Crowder is one of these apologists. He is one of these people that defends so much of what the Republican Party does. Or at least we'll say that it's a glass half full. There's always this optimistic, sympathetic reading of everything they do. And I think about a guy like Steven Crowder. If we're not doing mass deportations, there's always some excuse. There's always some excuse for why, what they're doing is enough, or if they're not doing enough, it's because of the Democrats. If Trump isn't doing this, it's because of the bad advisors. Yesterday, birthright citizenship was struck down by 2 judges that Trump nominated. So their names would have never even been put before the Senate for confirmation if Trump didn't pick them out of a hat. You can't blame that on Mitch McConnell. You can't blame that on the Republicans. You can't blame it on the Democrats. Those 2 judges were confirmed by all Republicans, and those names were picked by Trump, and they are why birthright citizenship is still the law today. Who do you blame? Who else can you blame? And then here it is again. Trump, with his cronies, are stealing billions of dollars. These are ill-gotten gains. Billions of dollars from foreign governments and stolen from his own supporters. And once again, what's the excuse? Who do you blame for that? Can you blame the Democrats? Can you even say the corruption is worse? I think this corruption is actually worse than it is with the Democrats. Obama never profited $1 billion. Sure, there's cronyism with Obama, absolutely. But $1 billion, Trump? Trump made more than $1 billion. Obama never came close to that. Neither did Clinton, neither did the Bushes. I don't think any of them put together come close to $1 billion plus dollars. So who do you blame for that? And this is why I say in 26, the Democrats need to get in, because this administration is the problem. You understand, it's not like, hey, you know, this administration's not perfect, but it's better than the alternative. No, this administration is creating problems. This administration brought us to war in Iran. They are dangerous. They are a problem. This administration is effectively giving amnesty to these millions of illegals that are here by saying they won't deport them. That's a problem. The administration's engaged in corruption. There just needs to be justice. And I would add, if this is going on, we actually need to get to the bottom of it, because it's going to hurt us in 2028. Even if you care about Republicans getting elected, Trump is doing the most to make sure that never happens again. War in Iran makes it so much less likely that people in his administration can even win their primary. The embezzlement that goes on in the cabinet, same thing. This is a huge stain on the Trump movement. The Epstein files, the funding of a primary opponent against Thomas Massie, all these things are hurting Republicans. You need the Democrats in the House to simply put a stop to it. Get some accountability, get some transparency, hold the people involved to account. And then in 2028, maybe you can get a fresh start. Maybe you get a reset. Maybe you can distance yourself from these mistakes that have already been made in the past and are not going away. We just need to get around them by bringing in new people. So that's a situation with Trump. I do want to move on. I want to talk a little bit about this Citizen Vigilante movie. We'll talk about it a little bit, and then we'll get into the super chats. So I don't know how many of you guys have even heard about this, but this has been really trendy on social media. There's a brand new movie in Europe made by a German indie filmmaker called Citizen Vigilante. And this is noteworthy because this is the first movie that Armie Hammer has been in probably 5 or 6 years since he was exposed as a cannibal during the Me Too movement. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it turned out that he was like sexually into like eating people for sexual pleasure. So he got canceled. I don't know why that, you know, it's a little weird, but I don't know why anyone would really care that much. Like, whatever. As long as he's not actually a cannibal, it's like, okay, it's a little freaky, but whatever. But anyway, so Armie, is that controversial? I don't know how you guys would feel about that, but I'm not into that. It's not my thing. But like, on some level, who cares? Like, he had this ex-girlfriend that was like, oh yeah, I was dating him, and he said he wanted to eat part of my arm or something. It's like, well, he didn't, right? I mean, as long as he's not actually out there eating people, then like, okay, honestly, who cares? Well, we can't yuck the guy's yum. I don't like, what, he can't have a job in Hollywood? Who cares? Just shut up and act. Say the lines. Anyway, that's just me, but maybe I'm just more open-minded or something. But anyway, so Armie Hammer, he comes back, first time ever. But what's even weirder is that's already sort of strange, but this is a movie about a rich, handsome white guy who becomes a vigilante that kills migrant rapists because the government won't do it. So it's a very weird situation. You have this former A-list actor from Hollywood, got canceled for being a cannibal. He comes back all these years later, and now he's in this indie movie, which is basically like Tommy Robinson, the movie. It's like Martin Sellner, the movie. It's about a rich white guy that kills migrants that rape white girls because the government is too left-wing and liberal to do anything about it. And the movie has been banned in Germany. It's been banned in other countries in Europe. And the big story is that they just got international distribution. This is a blurb about it from Vanity Fair. It says, quote, Armie Hammer's comeback movie, Citizen Vigilante, has been picked up for worldwide sales by Quiver Distribution. The movie, written and directed by Hugh Boll, the German filmmaker, will be handled by Quiver internationally, excluding the UK, German-speaking territories, South Korea, and Taiwan. The indie distributor earlier picked up the North American rights to the action thriller and released the picture domestically from June 19th. The worldwide rights deal follows Citizen Vigilante's effective ban in Germany, where it was denied a rating due to concerns that its violent content could incite violence against immigrants. That was followed by Elon Musk posting the movie with Hammer in his first leading man role since his career implosion to his X account for 48 hours. According to Apple TV, the official synopsis reads, living in Croatia, a wealthy American businessman transforms into a feared vigilante who targets violent criminals, rapists, and corrupt judges. As his brutal campaign gains traction online and across the media, he becomes a wanted criminal and an unlikely hero. So it's kind of like a ridiculous situation. I watched the movie the other day. I don't know how many of you guys have seen it. It's objectively a terrible movie. So I like Armie Hammer. Okay, this is maybe definitely my top 2 or top 3 favorite movies he's in. I'm a fan. I liked him in The Social Network. I liked him in other films. He's a good actor. But this movie sucks. It's like amateur, looks like a high school movie or like a college movie. Looks like it was shot on an iPhone. The dialogue is terrible. The acting is terrible. Production quality is very low. And the bigger problem with the movie is that it's just like a cornball-based exploitation chud movie. The movie is literally taken from like that remigration summit in Portugal a few weeks ago. The movie is like, what if a rich white guy was tired of seeing our white women raped by migrants and he just started killing all of them? And that's the movie. That's the premise of the movie. He goes around killing migrants and in between giving these monologues about how the woke left and radical Islam are destroying democracy and women should be able to dress how they want and not be raped by Muslims that believe in Sharia. And it's just like cornball, chud, slop. However, I will say, I really don't know what to make of it because on the one hand, it's like a bad movie. Like I wouldn't watch it again. It low-key sucks. And I also think, to be fair, it is like one of these, like you could credibly say that it's a little bit Jewish, you know? Because it is basically like Yoram Hazony's ideology on the screen. I believe in one of the scenes, Armie Hammer has a tattoo of a Hebrew letter on his stomach while he's having sex with a prostitute. And then he goes out like killing Muslims. And it's like, okay, so this is like Yoram Hazony's ideology on TV. This is like a made for Daily Wire movie. This is like a produced by Ben Shapiro movie. What if a goy, maybe even a Mishling, got tired of all the Muslim rape gangs and the woke left and the woke right and, you know, started killing everybody? On the other hand, okay, having said that, there are some Kino parts of the movie. Like, I'm not going to lie, it is based exploitation for a reason because it does kind of scratch the itch. In the grand finale of the movie, he goes into the house of a family where the young teenage son raped a European girl with like a gang of Muslims. And Armie Hammer holds the entire family at gunpoint, and he does this like soliloquy where he says to them, you raise your children with these values. You rape our women because of the way you dress. Why did you come here from the Middle East? I think the wrong Muslims came here. You brought your archaic values, which you prioritize over democracy. And then he kills all of them. Then he kills the dad, the mom, the brother, the sister. He has the kid invite all the other rapists to the house and shoots them all in the back of the head as they enter the house. And I'm not going to lie, like it's very over the top. It's very on the nose. It's a little bit silly, but it's also kind of like, you know what? It's about time. You know, you're kind of like, you know what? Good. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what? How about some points for the white man? It's good to see the roles reversed a little bit, but I'm not even exaggerating. That was literally the entire scene. That was the grand finale. Is he goes to the house. He says, is Yusuf home? pulls out a gun. Get inside. Then he holds them at gunpoint. He goes, you raped those girls. The kid goes, we thought she wanted it. He goes, you thought she wanted to be raped on a mattress and called through the bushes on her hands and knees? And you say he regrets it. But you posted on social media she deserved it for what she was wearing. Why would you even come here if you're going to rape us for our dress code? And the dad goes, you know why we're here. We're fleeing the war in our country. And Army Hammer goes, I think the bad ones got out of your country. I think you brought your archaic values here. And they're more important to you than democracy. And then he shoots them all in the head. Then he kills the entire family. And then all the gang rapists come one by one. He's just shooting them in the...
That's all good and well. Except it's a fucking movie. What are you so happy and cheering about? Our people are still getting raped and demeaned and whatever.
Back of the head, shooting them in the back, killing them all. Very gratuitous, very on the nose, but also deeply satisfying. You're also like, yes, awesome. You're like, okay, I could get behind this movie. This is awesome. It's nice for a change because you know how it is. You watch like an episode of Chicago PD. I love that show. Chicago PD, big show on network TV, and it's about the Chicago police. And hey, it's about the Chicago police chasing criminals. Okay, well, who are the criminals in Chicago? They're all black. And yet every episode of the show, all the villains are white people. All the criminals are white people. That's every movie now. Every movie, the horror movies, the supernatural entity is racism and Jim Crow. In action movies, the enemy is some white guy. In sci-fi movies, it's like a white spacefaring empire. Those are always, every movie genre, whites are the bad guys. In the rom-coms, the whites are the toxic boyfriend. In the horror movies, the supernatural entity is racism. In the sci-fi movies, it's a spacefaring white supremacist civilization that hates aliens, like the blue people in Avatar. In the action movies, it's some white drug dealer, some white supervillain, some white dictator. That's every movie now. So it's nice to see it go the other way. Here's what I'll say, though. I think that in terms of movies like this, the immediate comparison that I thought about was Taken with Liam Neeson. And I thought that was way more effective propaganda. Because you watch Taken, and they don't talk about immigration. They don't talk about migrants. They don't talk about how the government isn't doing enough. Fundamentally, the value that is represented in the movie is something like a clash of civilizations. It's something about, like, really the fundamental value is security. And I'll just refresh your memory. If you don't remember Taken, it's that famous scene where the girl is calling her dad on the phone. She's getting kidnapped. She crawls under the bed. The kidnapper picks her up. He picks up the phone. The guy says, I'm going to find you. I'm going to kill you. But in that movie, the narrative is about a father who is not able to control his daughter. The daughter wants to go on a vacation in Europe with her whore friend. Her mom, who is also a whore, who divorced the dad, wants to let her go. She says, hey, let her go. Let her go and follow this singer across Europe. Let her go with her whore friend. You worry too much. The world is a safe place. We don't need to worry about things like that. And Liam Neeson's like a former special forces guy. And he goes, no, you're wrong. The world's a dangerous place. She shouldn't go. Be careful. Her friend is an idiot.
Not special forces. The dude was a fucking CIA asset. And I would say it has a lot to do with being self-sufficient, like conservative, not needing to call the government who's not going to help you anyway.
Of course, she gets kidnapped. She gets kidnapped by Muslims. She gets sold into sex slavery. And then Liam Neeson rescues her on some Arab sheik's oil barge or something, his pleasure barge. His pleasure yacht in the Mediterranean or on some river. And like I said, there's no soliloquy about immigration. There's no soliloquy about Muslim migrants that left Syria. There's no soliloquy about Islam and, whether women deserve to be raped because they're not wearing a burqa. But the message is received either way, which is the world's a dangerous place. And people that are not like us don't have our values, and, they just might sell you into sex slavery. These evil, disgusting foreigners are going to come here, kidnap your daughters, sell them into sex slavery to some Muslim sheik. And so I thought that was a much more effective movie. After the scene in Citizen Vigilante where he gives his speech about, Islam is archaic and they hate democracy, then he calls the head of Interpol and he says that the woke left and radical Islam are why we're not going to have a democracy in 10 years. And it's like, so that following the other scene, it's just a little bit too on the nose to work as effective propaganda. So it's a guilty pleasure. It's a fun movie. You'll get a kick out of it. It's at certain times, it's a little bit ridiculous and campy and funny, but it's a fun watch. If you're right wing, you're going to like it. Like I said, it's a little bit like Your Mazzoni, Tommy Robinson coded, but effective propaganda, it is not. On a technical level, it's not a good movie, and it doesn't work as effective propaganda. The only people that are going to watch this are right-wing chuds. That's all. It's only going to serve to reinforce the opinions of right-wing chuds. We need better propaganda. I think about movies that liberals used to push, or Jews for that matter. I repeat myself. Movies about the Holocaust, movies about the civil rights era, movies like The Green Book, movies like The Blind Side. We need some tearjerkers. We need some movies that don't necessarily say, we need to pass gay marriage in the Supreme Court immediately. We don't need, that's not what liberals do. Liberals make a movie where the virtue being pushed is something like fairness, a universal brotherhood of man, this idea that everyone deserves a chance, that prejudice can be cruel sometimes. Like, that's the underlying message. The message is not like Obama should be the president. It's time for a black president. That's not the message. They'll just cast a black person as the president. And same for the policy areas. They're not going to say we need to pass another voting rights act. They'll say, maybe we should give black people a chance. Prejudice is wrong. And so we don't need movies that say, these migrants are raping all our girls and Interpol is hunting all the wrong people. Liberal judges are letting rapists go free. Like, we don't need a movie like that. We need a movie that says something like, we have borders for a reason. We're an extended family. There's something in here. That's why I think like historical movies are inherently on our side. A movie about Mozart like Amadeus is inherently a celebration of our people, makes us proud. These movies about like The King, about the Middle Ages, these movies like Troy, about, what is that, about the Iliad? These movies, these historical epics about European civilization, it reminds us who we are. It gives us a sense of identity, a sense of belonging. Those are intrinsically right-wing coded movies. And any kind of action thriller, which has to deal with the drug threat coming from Mexico, like Sicario, or movies about terrorists, like 24, that's a show, or Taken, or even some of the movies about the war in Iraq. There was a movie recently, I forget the name of it, but there was like a translator from Iraq and they learned to trust him. I don't remember what that movie was called, but we need more movies like that. It needs to be a little bit more subtle. So that's the Citizen Vigilante movie. Kind of funny. Kind of a funny story. A funny movie. I saw it on Amazon. It's like 90 minutes. It's okay. But it's a little bit too much of a chud movie. It's good to see Armie Hammer back, though. I always liked him. Okay, with that, we're going to move on. We'll take a look at our super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say. What did you watch the movie? Tell me what you thought. Yeah, it was a little bit absurd, but I did like it. I got to be honest. I saw that scene at the end And I was rooting for him. I was like, yeah, let's go. He's holding them at gunpoint. I think you brought your archaic values here, he says. It's so good. And I also love how much it pissed off Muslims. Sneeko was bitching about it. Sneeko's like, you're watching a movie about killing immigrants. Yeah. And I'm not in favor of killing immigrants or whatever, but the rapists, yeah, I mean, they definitely need to go to jail and get the death penalty. So yeah, it's interesting though. It does seem like I would be a little bit cautious because it almost seems like they're pushing that movie to try to trigger somebody to do that. Elon Musk will not support these anti-immigrant parties in Europe. He's a trillionaire. He could give money to AFD. He could give money to National Rally. He could give money to these parties, but he's promoting a movie about, it's basically Fed posting. It's about killing immigrants. It's about a vigilante taking matters into his own hands, getting guns and killing immigrants. It's actually extreme. It is a little bit dangerous. And I will kind of throw up a yellow flag. I'm going to throw up a red flag at the end here and just say, I don't know if the movie's really a good idea. I understand like why it's appealing. I get it and everything. But schizophrenic people can't tell the difference between like the Christchurch shooting and this movie. Because in the movie, you've got like first of all, it's fake. It's a work of fiction. And in the movie, it's about a rich, white American guy who has the resources to take matters into his own hands, and he's got a code, and he's going to kill rapists. Okay. But someone who's like schizophrenic can't tell the difference. Okay. Like John Hinckley Jr. couldn't tell the difference between Taxi Driver and real life, between like that movie and killing Reagan or whatever. And the same goes for this. You think these schizophrenic people know the difference? If Elon Musk is promoting this movie that glorifies a vigilante that goes out and murders immigrants, yeah, like that could lead to some problems. And I definitely question what the motive is behind that. On some level, I get it. It's a movie about how the justice system is not taking care of all the migrant crime and migrants are bringing this wicked value system. Like I get all that, but what exactly are you promoting? What is your intention planting those seeds? Because surely you know that someone out there is going to try some copycat thing. And what's going to happen then? Is that person going to only kill the bad ones, or are they going to go and light up a mosque somewhere? And I worry about that. And by the way, I don't support that. I don't support that. What is happening in Europe is genocide, no doubt about it. And it's a shame and a injustice and a crime that these migrants get away with what they get away with. But as a Christian, I don't support killing innocent people indiscriminately without prejudice. As Christians, we can believe in a death penalty. We can believe in deportations. We can believe in these things, even if the Pope doesn't. But yeah, I really worry about the message they're putting out there. Seems a little bit worrisome. And I only say that for our side. And, you don't want that to happen in general, period. But I also worry about our side because if a copycat does that, it will just be used as a pretext to destroy the far right. If in Germany, some nut job starts killing Muslims at a mosque, okay, there goes the AFD. And same situation in Austria. If something like that happens in Austria, there goes your anti-immigration party there. And the same goes in all those other countries. So I don't actually think that's the best version of the message. There should be a movie where, I don't know, someone succeeds in politics and carries out deportations. If you're going to go for some on-the-nose political manifesto movie that's as thin of an allegory as humanly possible, maybe make it about that and not like a vigilante murdering people in cold blood. But anyway, we're going to move on. We are going to take a look at our super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say about all this. Let's take a look. All right, let's see. How's my hair look? Hair's a little messed up. Let's do a little mog check. Are we mogging? What do you think of this tie with this suit? I think it's a good combo. Very blue. Still haven't figured out the hair, but whatever. It's okay. Anyway. Dude, yeah, why? Every night, it's such a struggle to get my hair right. Should have put something in it, but I wanted to start a little earlier tonight. Whatever. All right, let's take a look.
Poopcha Pants sent $20. Arnie Hammer must have ate Sneeko's parents.
Ah, very good.
Mike G sent $20. Seeing all the European foreigners coming here for World Cup, why not bring them in instead of monkeys and Neanderthals?
I know, right? It would be preferable.
Al Stock sent $50. I'm 38 years old. I have a 26-year-old dime wife and I make six figures. Am I too old to wear the merch and represent the movement?
That's just like an excuse to humble brag. You know, that's not a real question. Am I too old to wear the merch? By the way, my wife is hot. By the way, my wife is hot and I make six figures. It's like, well, 38, six figures, that's not really a huge flex. No offense. I mean, that's a good living, okay, but saying I'm 38 and I make six figures, it's like, yeah, I would hope so. It's not really the flex that you think it is. I'm not trying to humiliate anybody. That's a decent living, but nobody would be like, yeah, I'm kind of the shit. I'm 50 and I make six figures. It's like, well, at that age, it's kind of to be expected. How many years you got in the workforce? You got 20 years in the workforce? Like, that's kind of not crazy impressive, but yeah, so that just seems like an excuse to humble brag, and it's like, okay, I got a dime wife and I make six figures. Am I old enough? Like, what? You're delusional.
The Octagon Enthusiast sent $100, contributing to the war chest. Thanks for all you do, goat. Also, your hair looks good. Don't know why people give you a hard time about it. God bless.
Thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the compliment.
BK23 sent $20. Who's going to work the low-skill jobs if we get deportations? Black people? At least lean will be law if they work the farms.
Robots. Robots and Americans.
Brittany K sent $100.
Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with low-skill jobs. We need low-skill jobs. The problem is just they're frequently low wage. Like, here's what we need to understand. The reason those low-skill jobs are low wage is because they brought in an underclass to do it. And those low wages are subsidized by the government. Illegal aliens can't live off of the wages they make. Everything they have is subsidized. Subsidized housing, subsidized healthcare, education, food, income. That's all subsidized. So, like, don't get me wrong. Or don't kid yourself, I should say. They're not living on low wages. No one can live on those low wages. They can live on those low wages because the government is subsidizing their entire subsistence. And that's basically an in-kind subsidy. We're paying their wages for their employer. So that's the problem. If you deport the illegals, then employers are going to have to pony up and actually pay a living wage, and they'll pay it to Americans. So
King Crash Out sent $20. You sound retarded when talking about anything other than politics. Yeah, let me go to Fuentes for friend/relationship advice.
Well, like I said, I answer the super chats. So take it, leave it, listen to it. I don't think I've ever marketed myself as a relationship expert. I think it's actually the opposite. You do understand how this show works, right? People pay to have me read and respond to the messages, and that's what I do. Why would you come to this guy for relationship advice? I don't know. Ask them.
Wet Cooper sent $20.
Good question.
Not all Jews are women, but all women are Jews.
Well, yeah, I mean, something like
Common
that.
Void sent 20.
I would argue all Jews are women.
Common Void sent $20. What is your view on contraceptives like condoms, birth control, or Plan B?
I'm against it.
Dare American has sent $100.
I'm
Hey
Catholic.
Nick, longtime follower new to the GC. Started reading the Bible and lifting with the brothers' outstanding content this week. I made an interesting professional grower per original PDF of anti-Semitic writings of the Founding Fathers posted in the GC. It is good highlights for a July 4th, 250th show.
Okay. Yeah, do you think that's what we're going to do? You think that's what we're going to do on July 4th? Okay, everybody, we're going to read anti-Semitic quotes from the Founding Fathers. Like, what is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? On the 4th of July, I'm going to be watching the fireworks with my friends and family eating ice cream. I'm not going to be reading anti-Semitic quotes from the founding fathers that you put in a PDF on the internet. But thanks for the big super chat, I guess. What is wrong with you people? Can you guys just fucking be normal, please? Yeah, those are my plans. I'm going to watch Yankee Doodle Dandy, as I do every year. I'm going to watch the fireworks. I'm going to have a...
Fuck yeah. I watch that movie every year on the 4th of July, too, with James Cagney. Fucking amazing film. He fucking tap dances. The gangster of all gangsters.
We're going to barbecue with my parents. Throw some burgers and dogs on the grill. I made an interesting PDF of anti-Semitic writings of the founding fathers. It'll make great reading for a 4th of July show. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do for the 250th birthday of our country, is read anti-Semitic clippings from the founding fathers. Like, what is wrong with you? Be normal.
Nicholas sent $50. It's so goddamn frustrating how the...
Oh, whoa, no blasphemy, please. Enough.
Mr. Taggart sent $25. Did you see Jake Shields' podcast post today calling you controlled opposition with Jew Bilzerian? What a retard.
Literally, who cares? See, some people, it matters what they say, like Tucker Carlson, because he has a massive platform. It doesn't matter what Jake Shields says to anyone at any time because he's an idiot. So, I mean, he could say anything about me that he wants, and it doesn't matter. Simply put, nothing that will ever leave his mouth ever matters to anybody because he is stupid. Anybody that matters can recognize that he has brain damage, and so no one who is serious will ever listen, so it doesn't matter. Simply put. I mean, the guy's a retard. The way he talks, the way he writes, he's a low IQ, ignorant retard. So he can have any opinion about me that he wants. It honestly doesn't matter. So, I mean, he likes me, he doesn't like me. I don't think he knows where he's at half the time. So, does not
Diego
matter.
de Urrea sent $100. Sneak likes.
And Dan Bilzerian, I mean, it's literally Dumb and Dumber. Dan Bilzerian is dumb, and Jake Shields is dumber. Dan Bilzerian is like, fucking this, and it's fucking Jews. And then Jake Shields, I mean, it's literally Dumb and Dumber. It's like Dan Kazarian is one of the dumbest people alive, and Jake Shields is dumber than that. I mean, he's just retarded. So one guy is as dull and stupid as a person can be, and the other guy has brain damage. And that's the coalition. They're out there in Vegas. The two of them are out there in Vegas. The desert heat has melted their brains. And Jake Shields is like, what is the henchman of, he's like Igor. He's just like this stupid mutant that follows Dan Bilzerian around. Biggest brown noser of all time. It's kind of scary. He just will do, Dan Bilzerian says jumps, Jake Shields says how high. Dan Kazarian says fucking jump. And Jake Shields goes, how high? Like, Jake Shields is just a slave to Dan Kazarian. I don't even take it personally. I don't take it personally because Jake Shields is just a slave to Dan Kazarian. We'll just do anything he says, totally obedient. He's just like a puppy. So I kind of feel, it's like, I almost feel bad for him. Like, you can't really get, you're not going to listen to anything he says, but you also don't get really mad at him. But the two of them, they're just these freaks. They're just these two freaks. They're out there in Vegas in the scorching heat. Jake is constantly wearing T-shirts about, like, hating Jews. And, Dan Kazarian's dad is like a Jewish mobster. It's just a freak show. It's a freak show. It's low IQ. Okay, like, who has time for that? Nobody has time for that.
Diego de Urrea sent $100. Sneaka likes to criticize the quarter zip, but he ignores that all four schools of Sunni jurisprudence permitted non-penetrative acts with prepubescent wives and concubines. See what Sunni jurists called thang, mufa'a katha. We pray Sneaka abandons the carnal sin and returns to Christ.
I appreciate the big super chat. I mean, you don't even really need to make an intellectual point. Sneaka will just say anything at any time if it's popular. He has a post on Twitter where he said, he posted a picture of Jeff Epstein in this big red parka, and Sneako goes, wow, Epstein really had that shit on. Because at that time it was funny. When I posted that image, It's when it was funny. And then it became not funny when the files came out, so then he had to disavow it. And say, oh, anyone that promotes Epstein is a psyop. It's like, so when Epstein was a funny meme, he was a part of it because it was popular. When Epstein became exposed through the files, oh, that became very not funny immediately. And now he's totally against it. So there's a tweet like that for everything.
My pet monkeys and Dan sent $20. Do you have any movies you loved as a kid, hated as a teenager, then came to love again as a man? Mine's Freddy Got Fingered.
No, I don't think so.
Redmond sent $100.
Thank you for the big super chat. Appreciate it. No, I have a stable sense of identity. So I like something or I don't like something.
Traffic and Truther sent $24. No message. From
Thanks.
USA First 0E sent $20. Sneeko literally almost crying as USA make it 2-0 against Bosnia.
He's just performing, dude. Even if you watch that clip, he's just clip farming and LARPing it up for the clip.
Sent $20. Sent $20. The Bible never refers to Satan as Lucifer. The name appears once in Isaiah 14:12 and it's in reference to the king of Babylon.
Interesting. Thank you for telling
Pro-white
me.
Muslim sent $20. Do you think Iraq would have been better off if America pulled a Maduro instead? Even Muslims would support that option.
I just don't think that was feasible at the time. So, I mean, theoretically, yes, but honestly, who knows? Because the problem is the differences between Iraq and Venezuela is, well, I say, in Iraq they had this Ba'athist regime. I'm sure that some other person would have rose up and taken control of it, just like how in Iran, somebody replaced the supreme leader. Iraq wasn't a theocracy like Iran was, but I'm sure somebody would have risen to the top and it would have been similar. So it's not quite the same as Venezuela.
David Lancaster sent $20. Fair to say the overturning of Roe v. Wade is the only long-lasting right-wing W in the last 10 years? What am I forgetting?
Is it even really? I mean, it is. I thought there were more abortions now. I thought somebody said that, aren't there more abortions now than there were before Roe? I don't know the statistics on this, but it's good, but then there was no follow-up. All they did was kick it back to the states, and abortion is like on demand. And in some ways, it seems like it's even more available because now they want to subsidize getting people all these abortion pills everywhere because Republican states have banned it. So it doesn't seem like abortion has become any less available or accessible or easy or simple. So I'm not so sure that was even the victory people thought it would be.
Sierpinski 17 sent $20. I saw a clip of you talking about how dogs can make you feel more understood than even some humans do. So true. Everyone else saw an old beggar, but Argos recognized his master 20 years later.
Yeah, I know.
Pro-white Muslim sent $20. A lot of Muslims unfairly attack you. None of the Gulf states would tolerate a Somali takeover, so why defend Minnesota?
Yeah, good point.
WHI Podcast sent $20. Nick, have you ever considered joining the American Solidarity Party? I think you should.
Sounds stupid. I have no idea what that is.
Pro-white Muslim sent $20. Why defend grooming gangs when even the Taliban would have executed them? Muslims are only tribal for low IQ reasons.
Is that true? I don't know if that's true.
Lily sent $20. I saw the Tyson Hockley podcast. I loved your explanation of the nature of God in the Trinity. It was very beautiful. Hearts
Thank
the
you.
emoji, Latin cross
Thank
emoji.
you. I appreciate
Greg
that.
Herman sent $20. I'm from Honduras, bro.
Sweet.
Midwest Chud sent $20. WPO reports 1.9 mil awarded to Jew woman professor for being fired after Charlie Kirk comments. She looks like a demon too low.
I saw that. Yeah, it's crazy. That's what happens, though, when the Trump administration doesn't act against these people.
Virgil Groip sent $30.
They
it's
get a
time to end the
payout.
Groiper boycott of Minions and Monsters. The new movie was really good.
That's what I heard. Virgil Groib. I heard that. So a friend of mine went and saw it tonight, and he texted me and said, you got to stop the boycott. I said, what boycott? He said, you told people not to see it. I said, did I? He sent me the clip. I was like, damn. Yeah, I'm hearing it's good, so maybe I'll go watch it. I got to be honest, though, I hated the last
Deep
one.
cover Groiper sent $20. Groiper's taking over Leadership Institute's YLC. Other conference attendees are unhinged, though. Hiding power levels for 2028.
Good, love to hear
Scooty
it.
1776 sent $20. Rewatching old eps. Are we no longer Team Russia? White, Christian, tough on crime, clean. Perfect ally against China?
No, we're no longer pro-Russia. We're Team America.
Alfonsi sent $20. You're like Genghis Khan the way you united the boards and turned 4chan into your personal army. Prophecies are unfolding.
I didn't really. 4chan doesn't even like
This
me.
dog hunts 988 sent $50. Watch the show today. Based report W. Frankie Stocks. On Stu Peters Network. It was pretty good. You ever see it?
No,
The
I
Cooper sent
haven't.
$20. Nick, how did low IQ brown clown become your friend to begin with?
What is this, an interrogation?
Nalord sent $20. I get your point about nobody wanting to hear. Have you prayed to St. Anthony? When they've lost something. All I can say is I've had a 100% success rate asking for his intercession. Love the show.
It's interesting. Thank you.
Construction Grow I percent $500. Matthew 28.
Yo!
19 to 20 Christ is King. Latin cross emoji.
Thank you for the huge super chat. I appreciate it. Construction Groiper, the goat. Blue collar goat. Whoa,
Construction
and a few
Grow I
more.
percent $200. Latin cross emoji.
Thanks. And
Construction Grow I
another.
percent $100. Latin cross emoji.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate the huge support. God bless you, man. God bless. 07's in the chat for Construction Groiper.
Trash
We
Boy
love
sent
you, buddy.
$25. Don't lie about wanting to move to Miami for the boys. We know the real reason is to be closer to Sophie Rain.
Oh, yeah. Very
Heart of the
good.
Wolf sent $100.
No, she really turned me off with the black guy, man. Like I said, I could deal with her being an OF girl. I could get past that. I could get past that. That doesn't bother me as much, but like I said, the second that she went over to the other side with that black guy, no attraction. No attraction anymore. And she goes, "What? He's my friend. I can't hang out with the friend." It's like, sweetheart, you know what you're doing. Not like that. Not some black guy. Not absolutely not. What business does a pretty young girl have being friends with one of them? Absolutely not. So no, I don't think so. Very sad. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. But
Heart of the Wolf sent $100.
that's the way it is.
I learned recently that Sam Francis is the one who coined the term anarcho-tyranny and that he was an OG in the nationalist space, having actually influenced Pat Buchanan. I've already read a few of Pat's books and enjoyed them. Is there a book from Sam that you'd recommend? Thank you in advance.
Thank you for the big super chat. I will never understand. If you know the author, he's only written, he actually don't believe ever wrote a book. They're just compilations of his essays. So you have Beautiful Losers, you have Revolution from the Middle. He edited together a book about it's called Race in the American Prospect. I mean, he's got a handful of books. They're not really like books in the traditional sense. Why don't you just buy his fucking books, stupid? I will never understand people that say, "So I know the author. What books do you recommend?" It's like, you know, at that point, isn't that where you do your own research? Unless somebody has a catalog of like 50 books, unless it's like some esoteric philosopher, it's like, really? You can't figure that out, you fucking dummy? I heard that Sam Francis is an OG, influenced Pat Buchanan. I've read Pat's books. What books by Sam would you recommend? Why don't you figure that out? Why don't you figure that out? Why don't you buy a few of them? It's just like, I don't understand the mindset behind somebody that does that. People that do that, I just hate. Like, I hate people that do this. It's like Trump after Charlie Kirk. That's like, I hate my enemies. Like, people that do this, can't you figure anything out? Can't you figure anything out on your own? Or are you a complete useless human being? Completely useless human being. Completely useless as a man. So you know the author. You're set on reading his stuff. Could you point me which book I should read? Figure it out, bro. Pretty sure it's on Wikipedia. Go on Amazon. That's not hard. Me, it's like I don't ask people those things. If I get an idea in my head, I go and do my own research. I want to figure it out. I Google it. I go to YouTube. I go to ChatGPT. I do my own homework. If I'm reading a book and the author mentions another author, another book, I buy that book. Pat Buchanan, notorious for this. He's got a stacked bibliography. He references tons of books in his books. I buy those books. There's a book mentioned. I'm going to read that. I don't send an email to Pat Buchanan and say, "Hey, you mentioned this book in your book. Should I get it? What's it about?" It's just thanks in advance. Dude, fuck you. Is there a book you'd recommend? Dude, Google it. Go on Amazon. There's like 3 of them. I think he published like a few books that are on Amazon. That's just insane to me. Someone did that the other day too. Somebody said, "I'm a Gnostic, but I'm leaning Christian." I said, "Well, there's a book about that by Wolfgang Smith." Then he goes in the group chat and goes, "What book should I read by that guy?" I'm like, I literally told you exactly which one. It's just like, people are just, This is why people are poor. That's the difference, because like someone that's entrepreneurial will ask their own questions and find the answers to their own questions. Wages are kind of like sitting around waiting to be told what to do. They're sitting around because that's what it is to be a wagey, is to be told what to do. And so you tell a wagey, like, do this, and then they go, then what? How do I do that? Then what? Hey, and then you go, hey, why aren't you working? What are you doing? And they go, I finished all my work. It's like, well, then you should figure out other stuff to do. But that's that's like an employee mentality. Anyway, that's why you're a goy.
Zook 2007 sent $20.
Goyim.
Hey Nick, I work at an amusement park as a ride operator. The brown clowns who come to the park are nuclear retards. I told a guy to buckle his seatbelt and he buckled the empty space next to him. DND.
That's crazy.
Laura DB sent $20. Frog emoji.
Thanks.
Yacht Groy percent $100.
Yo!
Hey Nick, I am 27 and an owner of a yacht charter business here in Palm Beach, Florida. Next time you come down to Florida, if you want to do a yacht charter around Miami/Lauderdale/Bahamas, let me know. And thank you as always for doing the show. You've been a big inspiration and hope pill for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take you up on that. Send me a DM on Twitter. I'm absolutely going to take you up on that. Thank you for the big super chat. Finally, something useful. Finally, some niggas are like, give me a job. Some niggas on Twitter DM me and they're like, bro, please give me a job. Bro, please retweet my tweet. Some people, you know, the offers that I get, usually it's people asking me for stuff. Yeah. If you ever want to charter a yacht to the Bahamas or Miami, yeah. Yeah, sign me up. What merch do you want? It's free, right? It's free, right? You're the owner of the company. Hey, thank you for the big super chat. People are saying Mossad. This is how they're going to get me, guys. See, that's how they're going to get. Wait a second. Hang on. Wait a second. Hey, wait a second. A free yacht to Miami. You know, something sounds it sounds like it might be a little bit too good to be true. People are saying it's a trap. You know what? See, this is why I run into problems constantly. Because I'm just all in. Okay, well, I'm going to need to see some identification, please. Let me see some identification. Your parents don't work in the military at all, do they? You're in Palm Beach? Which of your parents is Jewish? Don't tell me I'm only 12%. How Jewish are you? Wait a second, you're 27 in Palm Beach, you own a yacht company? Oh, Palm Beach is all Jews. Which one of your Jewish parents gave you the yacht company, Michelin boy? Huh? Michelin nigga? Which one of your Jewish parents gave you the yacht company in Jewish Palm Beach? Come on my yacht to the Bahamas and what? And you're going to furnish me with what? Underage pussy? Nice try. Hey, nice try, pal. Nice try, but I see right through you. I know what you're trying to do. Almost got, there's very few things that they could trap me with, but a yacht, I'll admit. I'll be the first one to admit that's one of them. That's one of them. I like being on the water. What can I say? I like the water. Who doesn't? Who doesn't like being on a boat? So anyway, yeah, well, I'll need to see your ID before we sign up for all that. Can I get your Ancestry.com, please? Would you spit into this tube real quick? Will you spit into this plastic tube very quickly? I just need to see something. Yeah, by the way, can I just see some newspaper clippings about your great-grandparents real quick? I just need to check something.
Mia sent $20. I'm in Earthtown and would like to go to dinner with you. You kind of piss me off, but I like it. LMK, I'm objectively better looking.
That's crazy. Oh boy. Oh wow. No way a girl wants to take me to dinner. Oh, what a privilege. I'm honored. What, did I win the lottery today? What is today, my lucky day? Have my fortunes turned around? That's crazy. Oh man. You kind of pissed me off, but I like it. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. You're telling me I get to take you get to go to dinner? No, I'm sorry. A rich, famous, handsome guy, get to buy you dinner and hear you talk? What did I ever do to get so lucky? Wow. I guess when we pretended that airplanes in the night sky were like shooting stars, it really worked. Because this is my lucky day. Boy, oh boy, when are you free? When can I fit into your busy schedule? That's, women actually think like that. That's probably rage bait. But women actually think like that. Women actually think like that. Women and niggas actually think like that. It's totally insane. What are you going to do for me? I'm sorry. Are you kidding me? Like, why don't we try that again? Let's turn around, go over there and come back and let's try that again. You piss me off, but I like it. And I'm objectively better looking. Well, you sound like a bitch. So, I don't know who taught you how to approach. Is your mom divorced? How's your relationship with your father? I don't know who you think you're kidding with that approach. You piss me off, but I like it. Let me know I'm objectively better looking. You sound like a bitch. So I don't want to buy a bitch dinner and listen to her talk.
Elise Gabriel sent $20. Hey Nick, I recently took a 23andMe and found out my dad isn't my real father. I grew up thinking I was Mexican and Pakistani and turns out I'm fully Mexican. Also 1.6% Ashkenazi. Pensive face emoji.
Cool.
Rosencrantz 22
Awesome.
sent $50. Can you please pass this $50 along to one of your most spectacular mods named Grimfinger? I would like to cover his DoorDash for tonight.
I'll make sure he gets it. If you want to send any money to anybody else, just send it to me first. I'll make sure they get
Chef
it.
Sonny Faz in a locker sent $20. Brandon Tatum versus Jake Shields. Green eggs and ham. One book. One race. Who finishes first?
That's definitely Tatum.
Flea Dixon sent $20. Hey Nick, can't wait for you to be Supreme Emperor of America. My best buddy's birthday is coming up. Was thinking about making him a goodie bag. Any recommendations what to put in it? Jabba E sent $20. Start the show earlier if I have to be up at 5 a.m. for work.
It's not for you.
Fishboy123 sent $20. Hey Nick, would you ever visit Albania? How paying is
Maybe.
Maximus sent $200.
Thank you for the big super chat. Appreciate it. No message. Beautiful.
David Hernandez
Love
sent
it.
$50. Me and my girl going to church next month to see priest. She's hesitant spreading Nick Fuentes AF truth to her family. It's our Catholic duty. Praying for prudent guidance. Any advice helps. God bless.
What? You're asking your priest if your wife can tell her family about my show? I honestly have no idea what is going on there. I'm confused.
JD Proder 1 sent $20. Hey Nick, I'm 16 and just made my first 10K in under 2 weeks with a game I made. Thank you for all you do, man. Just curious,
Impressive.
thoughts on space exploration?
Good for you, man. Congratulations. That's really impressive. You are the future. Just don't, you got to lock in. What happens when you're a kid is you start to say, that's pretty good for my age, and it is. But you got to stay locked in, okay? That's just proof that you can make it, but you have to keep working hard, okay? So excellent work. You're the man. Keep going. Thoughts on space exploration? I think it's really cool.
Vatican Night Grow sent $50. Hey Nick, heard about the SSPX schism? Trads should just be Catholic. Schismatics should submit to Rome.
Totally agree, and I predicted that. Remember I said SSPX tends towards schism, and people said, actually, they're in communion. And I said, no, they tend towards schism. And look what they did today.
Top G Roy sent $100. Who do you consider to be more fake, Sneeko, or the Tucker Carlson JD Vance crew?
Oh, Tucker, by far. Thanks for the big super chat. Appreciate
Mythical
it.
Creature Groy sent $20.
Thank you.
The D app and Are We Dating the Same Guy? Ojk. Facebook groups are illegal and disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have that problem, so I'm good, That's just like a problem. Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. All the Chads are getting destroyed by their pile of X's. Oh, I feel so bad for them. Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sad. Oh, my heart breaks for all those Chads and their pile of discarded whores that are talking trash about them on the internet. Won't somebody please think of those Chads?
Sent $20. How worried are you about the Democrats potentially expanding the court? Newsom, Schiff, and a multiple others loosely support it, but the GOP doesn't even seem slightly bothered. Seems like theater.
I agree. I don't think it'll happen.
Sophie Rain sent $20. Put Sneeko in a blender and make a fleshlight from the slush.
Okay, that's
Cajun
gross.
Roy sent $20. Clavicular makes out with a tranny, does business with the Jews, and promotes degeneracy, but you still think he's one of us. When will you practice what you preach and say fuck this guy?
Oh, I misread that last I misread that last part. That's crazy. Dude, you clavicular has so much more aura. Who are you? You're some broke loser. Okay, that's just, first of all, you're just spreading lies. He never made out with a tranny. He did business with Jews. So what? Promotes degeneracy. I don't agree with that. I'm bored of defending this all the time. It's always like, he promotes degeneracy. I've said it a million times why I support him. If you don't know at this point, if you're not listening, then that's a you. And if that's a problem, then go fuck off and kill yourself and watch something that's boring. Watch some faggot simp then. Watch some simp that is going to tell you about how, you need to lead your wife and there's a problem with good man scarcity. Go watch some feminist then. I'm so sick of the purity spiral on that. There's like 2 people in the world that are giving women what they deserve, and that's Andrew Tate and Clavicular. And for that, I'm never going to diss him.
Propeller Dog sent $50. Tucker bounces on Vance harder than you bounce on Clav, but at least Clav is based.
True.
Invictus Groyper sent $20. How can we build a coalition if I can't even get 12 niggas across 4 Groyper X group chats to? Beverage box emoji. My post. Niggas got 2. Beverage box emoji.
No, you need to make better content, faggot. No one's gonna retweet my post. Make better content, bitch. Like that. Don't be complaining
Propeller
about
Dog
that.
sent $20. Polka dot tie looks gay as hell, by the way.
They're not polka dots, but you sound like a child.
Chef Off War.
You're probably wearing gym shorts and a sweatshirt with a stain
Chef Off
on
War
it.
sent $20. Remember when Tucker Carlson convinced Trump to make Vance the VP? And his reasoning was they will kill you if you don't have a guy like Vance as number 2. Who exactly is they Tucker?
Yeah, that was funny.
Brody03 sent $20. Candace brought you up on the Sean Ryan show yesterday. She wants you so bad.
I saw that,
Disappointed Groyper sent $20. Just found out my GF smashed the guy she said was like a brother to her before we started dating. I feel so cucked. KMS.
Oh, delicious. Delicious. Clock that. Yep. Dude, women always lie. Like, look, it's one of these situations where it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If that's the first time that ever happened to you, you know what, man? It happens. It happens. You live, you learn. Women always lie. Women are not loyal. They lie. They are whores. Every word out of their mouth is a lie, like their father, the devil. But if it's never happened to you before, then, everybody finds out the hard way, I guess. That's crazy. It's literally a meme. The guy she told you not to worry about. My GF smashed the guy she said was like a brother to her. Shocker. Big surprise. Your girlfriend should not be talking to any guys. There should be no guys that are like a brother to her. There should be no guy friends. She shouldn't be on Instagram. She shouldn't be on social media. So that's, you're cucked. If that is happening, you have to assume she's fucking those guys and you're a cuck. Okay? Like, if she has any men in her life like that, you might as well just assume it's happening and you're a cuck. So that's crazy. Sorry to hear that. That's a shame. To disappointed Groyper. Is that why you're disappointed? Bro's the disappointed. He's characterized by his disappointment in his GF and humanity. My GF smashed it. Dude, they lie about everything. Just don't listen. Do not listen to them. Do not listen to... They always lie. He's like a brother to me. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Like, no, dude. You trust your gut. If your gut is telling you there's something going on, there's something going on. Do not... And they gaslight you too. Do not let them gaslight you either. The shit they will make up, it's like diabolical.
Sent $20.
It's crazy.
You would be living the life of Bear from Obsession the movie. Psychic powers and demons are real. I rebuke you and your energy.
Obsession? I didn't see that because I'm not a cornball.
J. Pino sent $100. Sup, Nick? I know you're Mexican, Italian, and Irish, but all the Mexican genes came out in your mugshot. Love the shoe, bro.
Thanks for the big super chat. Love the shoe.
Balkinianman sent $20.
Thanks.
Sick of the Muslim shilling from the dissident right and anti-Israel left. You were the only one seemingly able to admit you made a mistake about these people and realize there is no coalition.
No, I didn't make a mistake. I said it on Tyler Hockley, or Tyson Hockley. It made sense in 2023 and 24 because no one was talking about Jews. Now that we are, it's a different story. But yeah, I never was going in that direction.
DS sent $50. Additional important information. World Liberty Financial also recently released its WLFI speculative token that totally nuked in value. Arguably was more brutal than the Trump coin.
Yeah.
Clayman5 sent $20. No message.
Thanks.
Nelly Furtado sent $20. Hypergamous Void, wherever you are, I'm all alone, and it's you that I want.
Is that a song? You got to let that go. Let the yearning go. That she doesn't care. Hypergamous void, wherever you are, I'm all alone. Dude, you're just a sucker. You have to let that go. She don't care. She's not thinking about you. Let it go.
Luma sent $20. People who call live sports bred and circuses and have a superiority complex over those who watch them are so gay.
But people that have a problem with that are gay also. The real clear pill is you have to let people like things and not like things. Some people like sports. It's okay. Some people hate it. That's okay too. If you're bitching about people that call sports bred and circuses and have a superiority complex like that, it's gay to be hung up on that too. I watched a soccer game today. I watched the big soccer game. I saw the United States triumph over Islam. I saw the white supremacist imperial empire triumph over Islam once and for all. It was awesome.
Press B Groy % $20. Have you seen Daniel Schmidt lately? He's on TikTok with AI psychosis. Check Anthony's tweet. Groyper curse strikes again.
Yeah, I think that's old though. I remember he posted that, I feel like last year. Not doing so hot, huh? Yeah, whatever happened to Daniel Schmidt? Is he still running, what was it that he was doing before? I don't even remember. Yeah, whatever happened to Daniel Schmidt? Whatever happened there? Yeah, it's too bad what happened with him.
Big Daddy Nene sent $20.
I think he's losing his hair. What else has he been up to besides losing all his hair and going crazy or
Big
something?
Daddy Nene sent $20. I made potato soup today. Could have used less bacon. Gonna try a bisque Tom. Thinking about you and touching myself right now.
Okay, well, I didn't need all that.
Car guys are Groy % $20. So porn. What is that? What's porn? Grow him. Oh, he's so wholesome.
So porn. What is that? What is that? I don't know what that means. So what is that? Yeah. Oh, he's such a wholesome chungus. He doesn't even know what, like, really, bro.
Arkansas.Groy %
Come on.
$50. Hey Nick, love the show. Showing support from Arkansas. As an upcoming senior in high school, do you think majoring in law or engineering is better in this day and age? God bless.
Probably law, but it depends on what you're good at.
Revolutionary Frog sent $20. Citizen Vigilante was so bad it was good. Definitely a little subversive. The sister of Yusuf who gets shot at the end is Hyla Harash, Israeli actress lol.
No
but the ending had me
way.
cheering.
Dude. So it's Jewish propaganda. Okay, well, it's a little
And
kino.
Enfi sent $20. Beelzebub.
There you
Sivad
go.
18 sent $50. Old head here. Elon posted it for Germany. Bono. Never stop. Me
Cool.
Roip sent $25. Has your opinion on the death penalty changed at all?
Nope.
Awesome. Kia sent $20. I read George Washington's bio by Henry Lodge after seeing you recommend it on a podcast. Are you interested in seeing young Washington?
Yeah. Happy? Bro said, I heard you mention a book about George Washington. Are you interested in seeing a film about George Washington? Nick. Daily Mail wants to know, are you interested in seeing a movie? Yes. Yes, I'm very interested. I'll be seeing it. Like, that's your question? Are you interested in seeing a movie?
Homerstat sent $20. Angry Birds was a far-right movie.
I remember that.
It's Groy % $25. Banger show tonight.
Thanks.
Hey Hate God sent $50. Nick, make your meme coin all Groyper support being rug pulled for the movement. Get your million.
They offered me that. They offered me, I think, $500,000 to do that, and I turned them down.
Goy beam operator sent $25. Called my 55 years old co-worker a raped Jewish person slave and he reported me to our.
Yeah, well, don't
Lee
do
Morty
that.
sent $100. Have you ever watched porn?
Thank you for the big super chat. No.
Mike G sent $20.
Never.
You need a damn IQ test verification for people to watch DS. How can you be this smart with these guys watching?
That's just life, man. That's just how it is.
Poop D Groy
How it is
$25.
everywhere, anywhere.
How do you never drink water talking for 4 hours? My roommate.
Well, it's like 2 or 3 hours, but sometimes I take a sip of
Floki
water.
3 sent $20. Quit the Ron Burgundy LARP and start doing comedy for real. You are giving the Goyim too many talking points to memorize.
Oh.
Lix Nico sent $20. Maybe for the 4th of July we can eat chocolate cheeks, watch the Knicks game, and read Jake Shields.
Yeah.
Sloan Stan at 3 sent $20. Nicolate.
I could use a latte.
Senex official sent $40. Great show.
Thanks.
Bale G sent $20. Would or not presidency be better over Vance?
No. Well, dude, they both be awful.
Fusilier
They're
12
both
sent
bad.
$20. Hello Nick, can I ask you a question? African American Alio sent $20. Hey Nick, love the show, great content, celebratory hands in the air emoji, do you have a favorite ketchup brand? Dunkness D sent $20. What's Tucker's play on trying to create a third political party? Also he needs to keep yo name out his mouth.
Who knows? That could be fake.
CDM Nationalist sent $30. It's Canada Day today. What do you think of Daniel Tyree's Dominant Society of Canada?
Don't know anything about
Los
it.
Boys.
Don't care. Don't care about Canada.
Los Boys 85 sent $20. You'll end up in the ocean in a zip bag if you get on that yacht, like Big Pussy in The Sopranos. Don't do it. Propeller Dog sent $20. I'm not wearing gym shorts and a stained hoodie. I'm wearing a propeller hat and nothing else. Straight up spinning it.
Nice.
Episcopalian sent $20. Jeremy Boring said we shouldn't use the phrase Christ is king as a political weapon. Does he have a point?
No. No. Okay. Great question. That's our last super chat. That's going to do it for me tonight. As always, remember to smash the like button, smash the follow button, leave a comment. I'm on the air Monday through Friday. As always, thanks for watching. Thank you to our top super chatters. Huge special shout out and thank you to Construction Groiper, Truth, Palpatinius Maximus, the Octagon Enthusiast, Brittany K, Americanus, Diego, Redman, Heart of the Wolf, Yacht Groiper, Top G Groiper, Jay Pena, and Lee Morty. Thanks to them. Thanks to all our super chatters, everybody that watches. We love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have a great rest of your evening.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. It's going to be only America first. America first. The American people will come first once again. With respect, the respect that we deserve. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
That could be fake.
CDM Nationalist sent $30. It's Canada Day today. What do you think of Daniel Tyree's Dominant Society of Canada?
Don't know anything about
Lost
it.
Boys.
Don't care about Canada.
Lost Boys 85 sent $20. You'll end up in the ocean in a zip bag if you get on that yacht, like Big Pussy in The Sopranos. Don't do it. Propeller Dog sent $20. I'm not wearing gym shorts and a stained hoodie. I'm wearing a propeller hat and nothing else. Straight up spinning it.
Nice.
Episcopalian sent $20. Jeremy Boring said we shouldn't use the phrase Christ is King as a political weapon. Does he have a point?
No. No. Okay. Great question. That's our last super chat. That's going to do it for me tonight. As always, remember to smash the like button, smash the follow button, leave a comment. I'm on the air Monday through Friday. As always, thanks for watching. Thank you to our top super chatters. Huge special shout out and thank you to Construction Groiper, Truth, Palpatinius Maximus, the Octagon Enthusiast, Brittany K, Americanus, Diego, Redman, Heart of the Wolf, Yacht Groiper, Top G Groiper, Jay Pena, and Lee Morty. Thanks to them. Thanks to all our super chatters, everybody that watches. We love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.